In 1492, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Aragon set in motion events that would send ripples through time and affect the lives of millions of people even today. The event was known as the Spanish Inquisition. The persecution, torture, executions, and expulsion of the Jews of Portugal and Spain, and eventually its colonies and protectorates, would continue for over 600 years and would spread to almost every corner of the globe. Thus, it is no surprise that today, thousands of people are discovering that they are extended victims of this sad and tragic history. They are known as the Marranos, or crypto-Jews. But they will not bend to history. Instead, they are making their own by reclaiming their birthright as Jews. Dr. Del Sanchez of San Antonio, Texas, is himself a crypto-Jew and is leading the way for many like him who have uncovered their Jewish past and have reclaimed their faith. And now they intend to help reclaim the desert.
We want to have an integral community for our people with the same kind of social background, historical background, cultural, linguistic, language background to come together as a community so we can have a cohesive community where our people don't just make Aliyah, come here, get tired, get worn out and frustrated and go back to the land of where they came from or some other country, as many others have done from other countries.
So now we find ourselves deep in the Negev desert at the dedication of the new Sephardic Anusim Center, housed near Kibbutz Sdei Boker. The gathering brought together many people of different walks of life, but all had a common reason for being here.
I discovered I had Jewish roots after I took a missions trip into Mexico, and a pastor's wife recognized my father's maternal last name by the name of Sharada. And I met my great uncle, a man who raised my father, who was also orphaned. His mother was murdered in Mexico. After I read the Bible, asking for answers to my own personal struggle, and then a month later discovering that my great-grandfather had come from Tel Aviv in the 30s, and all the personal tragedies that I'd experienced were finally explained by the fact that we are His chosen people.
Some who have discovered their Jewish roots took a more modern and scientific approach to the process.
I found out my Jewish roots because my husband was researching his own and then got his DNA tested to confirm it. And when he did, I did mine and turned out to be as well, to have Cohen markers, and researched family history and found out that we were Jewish as well.
So Del Sanchez is making big plans to bring more of his people home to Israel.
Our cornerstone is Eretz Israel, specifically the Negev. All right. So what is happening now is we have favor with governmental officials, politicians, builders, architects, academicians, scientific community, and the grassroots community, all saying, not like everybody, but a lot of them, both religious and secular, Jews, Israelis, saying, we embrace you, how can we help you? So now our purpose is wake up our people, mentor them in the process of Aliyah, and then have a place to settle them, to build their own homes, and hire them as they build our homes. And now you have a source of housing and a source of employment.
A project such as this cannot go without help from many sources. Max Ernst, a Christian supporter from Switzerland, came to lend a hand.
We are Christians living in Switzerland, and we got involved with helping the Jewish people. And so through this grow in our hearts to better understand what the Bible is telling us about the nations to help the Jewish people. So we were involved in an organization called Ebenezer Operation Exodus, which is helping worldwide the Jews to go back.
While ground has yet to be broken here in the Negev for a community, that's not stopping the Sephardic Anusim from coming home to the land they have longed for so long, the land of Israel.
My dad always knew something was up, but he was able to make the full discovery. When he was 18, he lived in Israel for a while, and everybody told him, you're Jewish, and he didn't quite believe it back then, but he also realized his Spanish was different than his friends, and that also helped him a big part on his discovery to finding this.
And how long have you been in Israel?
A month.
Just a month?
Yeah.
How are you finding it so far?
I love it, because it's a country of passionate people, and I like being around passionate people.
Yes. And how is your Hebrew?
Not so good.
So as we can see, the tragedy of the Jews who suffered under the Inquisitor's yoke was yet another chapter in the long struggle of the Jewish people to find their way back home to this land of God's promise, a promise now fulfilled by these amazing people. Reporting from the Sephardic Anusim Center in the Negev Desert, for Israel Independent TV News, I'm David Miller.